Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's the Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Well, thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show, The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. Hope you're doing well today. I will let you know right off the top here that this show is going to sound a bit different because I got to do it in pieces because what I'll be doing, patrons usually get a little in between. Like if I have to take breaks, I'll do a little chatter for the patrons. But today I cannot do that because I have to, instead of chatting with you, I got to stop the show totally and do some work. So we're going to piece this together as I just hit the desk for some reason. And I'm so mad I can't do it all in one shot because I was going to do it on Riverside and let patrons join in the chat. But we don't have the time for that today. So we're doing it in pieces. So we'll do the song and then we'll segment it from there. All right? Hope you're well. How are you? You good? I didn't ask. I'm sorry. I'm rude. Are you well? How are you? Hope you're doing okay. I am, I don't know, I've been okay. You know, the back's been, I woke up with some back pain today, as is usual, the usual thing for me. But otherwise, I've been all right. You know, the kid's going to be 2. By the time you hear this, my son will be 2 too. Can we play the sound for him? Yeah, why not? Let's play our default birthday sound, the Super Mario 3 King fanfare. We'll do that because he's not going to listen. That's fine, but he'll be 2 on Friday. By the time this show comes out, my son will be 2 years old, which seems insane. I've talked about it before when I have guests and we talk about, you know, it inevitably comes up about the kid and whatnot. I'm like, it just seems crazy that, A, you can just have a kid. No one asks. Like, you don't have to take a test or do really much of anything except, well, never mind. But, yeah, and then, you know, I will be honest, it is not all sunshine and rainbows and whatnot, but it's fun. Like, now that he's figuring stuff out, he can say some words, kind of. He's running around. He can sort of ask for stuff. And he's also huge. And so when he barrels into me, his head is right at the danger zone. So when I say huge, I mean tall. He's half my size. His head is right in the crotchal area. And yeah, we've had some incidents for sure where he just barrels in and says, "Bah!" And, you know, it happens. These are things that happen. And one day he'll get his. So that's not, don't say that about yourself. All right. I'm sorry. Oh boy, hope you're okay. Hope you're staying warm, cool, dry, whatever it is that you want. If you want it to rain more, that's fine too. Whatever you got going on, I truly hope you're doing well. I wrote a thing for the patrons this week. I meant to do it as a video segment, but did not have the time. So that is up at themeltingpat.com, or I'm sorry, patreon.com/themeltingpat. The link to the thing will be in the show notes today. There we go, at themeltingpat.com. Give me $1 or $2 or $3, and you get some bonus stuff throughout the month. And then sign up for the newsletter while you're over there as well. All right? All right. Great. Having a great old time with all the stuff we have to do. Today on the show, we have our segment from, I mentioned last week, our pal Vito won the NFL Pick'em and made his decision to talk about the Major League Baseball All-Name Team, basically cool names for baseball players. And as promised, it is on the show today. So we'll talk about that. We got some good choices. We do. I like a lot of these choices. I liked a lot of these players too. So that's going to be fun. We also have some fan mail. Somebody asked me if I did this show when I was 18, what might a topic have been on that show? And I love that question. Thank you to whoever asked it. I don't know. I came in through the website, didn't get the name. So if it was you, let me know so I can thank you properly. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about political commercials, although I may have talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it anyway. When, these political ads that say this person sucks, and then they don't tell you who the good person is in the race. And that bothers me. So we'll talk about that. And that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, it's going to take me 4 minutes to get through all that stuff. Well, if I talk this fast, it will, right? No? All right. Anyway, there we go. We're going to start today, though. I know we've been here for a few minutes already, but, that's how this goes. I chatter, we play the song, and then get on with the show. And I have asked if you mind this little banter at the top of the show, and most of you, actually all of you, have said no. So I appreciate that. If it bothers you, if you would like me to keep the banter to a minimum or just eliminate it entirely, that's fine. You let me know. This show is, it's for me. The show is for me. Let's be honest. The show is for me. But if I'm doing something you don't love, I would like to hear it. I'd like to know that there's something on this show that you're not a fan of me doing, and then I can adjust as needed. All right? Does that sound fun? This show, I'm very democratic. I'm not saying that I'll take all of your advice immediately, but I do have a nice list of, I called it ways to make the show better, that I started with my live show because we got reviewed occasionally. And I would just leave the note, whatever note they put on there, I'd put a list. Be like, here's what people think I should do to make the show sound better. And for the most part, I have. I've followed that advice and made it, I feel like I've made this a better show, except that, hey, Pat, you're rambling about stuff no one cares about. All right, well, that's fair. That is fair to say. Thank you, and I will take your criticism under consideration. I appreciate you being here. All right, anyway, there we go. Now we're going to go and do the thing. Our dear friend, Chris Crimmins, he's been on this show with a previous project. Although, wait, is it just Crimmins? Yes, well, his name is Chris Crimmins. Anyway, he's at Crimmins Music. That's Crimmins. Crimmins Music on Twitter and Instagram. Is he on Facebook? I don't know, actually. Thad told me, speaking of Crimmins and Thad, they're connected. Well, they were. They're friends. And, Thad told me he was on Facebook and he wasn't there. I didn't find him anyway. Damn you, Thaddeus. All right, anyway, love you, buddy. Good luck on tour. Or break a leg, whatever you say when people go on tour. All right, so wind it back around, Pat. Crimmins Music on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm doing this to coax him to coming on the show because he said we were going to do it and we haven't found the time. But I figure if I tag him because I played his song on the show, he'll be like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that. Or not. It's fine anyway. Go Suns, I guess. Crimmins has 2 songs out. We're going to play the first one. The link to get it will be in the show notes. And again, Crimmins Music. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Tell him I sent you this song. I love it. It's great. It's different from what his previous band was, which I think is fantastic because I like when guys evolve, when guys and girls and theydies and thems evolve musically and show a different side. So, Crimmins, this song is called Teenagers in the 90s. It's the Melting Pat. We're coming right back.
Let's go back. Nostalgic for something we never had. Rewind to find out where we went bad. Retracing our steps to where we stand. Where do we stand? Feel like it was just the other day. Turn around and look the other way. We were better off before. We don't talk like that no more. We can dance if the night is ours. We can take what you want from me. We can talk on the phone for hours. Like teenagers in the 90s. We can dance if the night is ours. We can take what you want from me. We can talk on the phone for hours. Like teenagers in the 90s. Teenagers in the 90s. Teenagers in the 90s. We were down and out but still okay. When shit went bad we always found a way. Remember when we had so much to say. Now you say how I'm always out of town, how I can't shut my mouth, always going on about, don't know a thing about you. Take it back in time and we'll find out we were better off before. We don't talk like that no more. We can dance if the night is ours. You can take what you want from me. We can talk on the phone for hours. Like teenagers in the 90s. We can dance if the night is ours. You can take what you want from me. 90s. In the 90s. We can dance at the night is ours. You can take what you want from me. We can talk on the phone for hours. Like teenagers in the 90s. We can dance at the night is ours. You can take what you want from me. We can talk on the phone for hours. Like teenagers in the 90s. Like, just in the 90s. Like, just in the 90s. In the 90s.
And there you have it, our dear friend, Chris Crimmins. Crimmins, hold on, is he just going by his last name? I should have asked. No, then that ruins the surprise of him seeing the tag and going, oh yeah, I was supposed to come on Pat's show. Anyway, Teenagers in the 90s is the name of the song. Find more from him, Crimmins Music, on Twitter and Instagram. He's probably on TikTok. I don't know how TikTok works, but he might be on there doing things, or he's not, and he's going to be like, Pat, you should know this before you do the show. You're right. I should. I really should. Whoa, just got really close. All right, there we go. The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. We are back. Did that work? I felt a little flat, a little off. It was fun, and I'm sure at the very least Chris will appreciate it. Anybody else, if you don't like that, then do better. You know what? That's what I should do. If you are not a fan of the mouth riffs that I do, if you don't like them at all, let me know. I'm not going to stop doing them, but I will. I'll know that at least someone hates it, and then I'll do it just for you. I'll exaggerate it for you. But if you think I am doing a poor job on these mouth riffs, can't even say the damn word, like I did there. If you thought that was bad and it was off in some way, I would like you to try better. You try to do it. You can pick your own. You can do what I did, like pick the part of the song that I did, or pick a different part of the song and send it to me. All right, you can do it on SpeakPipe. It's right there at themeltingpat.com. You can do it on your phone. You can call me. Call me, 555. Come on now. No, it's 209-867-7638. Or if you want to do it via voice memo on your own little gadget and email that to me, tmpfanmail@gmail.com. Do that. And then I don't have a way for you to send me files directly through the website. I have not figured that out yet. It's funny. Years ago, I asked someone how to do that. Somebody who worked at the station where I did the live show. I said, hey, is there a way that I can do that? And he said, there is, but be careful because people can send you anything and it could get messy. So I backed off. But there are several ways to send me things. If you think I'm doing a poor job with the mouth riffing and you think you can do better, I would like you to send that over to me. And then we'll play. If you want me to, tell you what, send it over and then leave a comment somewhere or say at the end, like, hey, share this on the show or don't share it on the show. And then if you say yes, then we'll play it on the show next to mine, like run it after mine, and then we'll let everybody judge. Does that sound like fun? I know I'm giving you homework, but that could be fun, right? Maybe for 3 of us. Could that be good? All right. Anyway, there we go. Crimmins Music on Twitter and Instagram. Teenagers in the 90s. Go get it now. And tell them you want them to come on the show. And then we'll talk about Pokemon Crystal. And it'll be great. It'll be great. If we... See, I don't have a lot of time, though. So, Chris, let me know. Reach out, and we will do our best to make it work. Okay? Great. Awesome. All right. On with the rest of the show. Or at least this part of the show. Because then, work has to get done. So, our friend Vito, who used to do a segment on this show every once in a while about super wins, where it's a stat he made up, where the starting pitcher will drive in more runs than he allows in a game. Unfortunately, with the universal designated hitter, that's not a thing anymore. So, Vito, if you have a different segment you'd like to present, let me know, and we'll make it happen. But he won the NFL Pick'em this year. And so I said, hey, you can come on the show, talk about whatever you want. And then he decided, nope, I'm going to pick a topic for you, and you can talk about it and share it with people and get some answers and go from there. So Vito decided, hey, let's do this. He did this. He sent me this in February, full disclosure, and I just hadn't had time until now to collect all the answers. So he's like, yeah, baseball season's coming. Let's talk about some fun baseball names to say, either like just cool names or just fun to say. One of his choices was Rod Barajas. He was a catcher for, who did he play for? Somebody will let me know. And so things like that. So I'm not going to read you his entire list. I'm not going to do that as my thing just froze. Okay, we're going to try this again. Oh no, now it's all gone. I just lost my note. It was all I had. I had a thing I was going to tell you, and it's gone. Ah, damn. All right. So, we're going to talk about that later. So yeah, he, of course, Nomar Garciaparra is on his list. Shin Soo Choo is on there. Coco Crisp. He's got a lot of great names on here. Big fan. And really, I shared his list on the website. So if you want to go check it out, his team, the All-Name Team, is submitted by Vito. If you want to go check that out, you can. I'm not going to read all of them, but he brought up a point like, hey, in their prime, this is actually not a bad team, which is fun. So like, it's like they're cool names to say, and they're good sports names, good baseball names, and also a lot of these guys pretty good players. So I like it. Thank you, Vito, for that. I appreciate it. And I came up with a few off the top of my head. I'm going to be real. I wanted to see if we could all make a whole team, like maybe not a full 25, 26-man roster, but like if we could get every position on the field filled. I was hoping we could do that. I don't think we did. I'm not sure we made it, but I thought of a couple off the top of my head, which I think I don't know if anybody else mentioned any. I'm not sure. Anyway, our second baseman, at least for me, Mickey Morandini. That's a great name. Oh, man, what a fun guy to watch. Actually, two of these guys played for the Phillies. Did Heathcliff Slocum play for the Phillies? I'm trying to remember. I know that he played for the Red Sox and was traded for, I think, either minor league guys or the draft picks who became Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek, who led the Red Sox to win the World Series in 2004. So that's a pretty fun fact. I swear he did play for the Phillies, right? I should have looked it up. I just thought of his name and I was like, yeah, I remember that guy. I don't remember him being very good for a lot of the time, but that's a fun one to say. I liked it. Mark Grudzielanek was a good one. Shortstop, second baseman. So we have the middle infield covered. Skip Schumacher was an outfielder. He also played a little third base and second base. So we got one of our outfield spots taken. So that's good. I believe he manages is he the one who manages with Scott Spezio? That's a good name too, by the way. Did he get a managerial job? I forget. Anyway, those are the ones that I came up with. Seth says, I really wish that Clinton Dix played baseball right now. Yeah, me too. That's a good one. And Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Speaking of good, solid football player names. That's fun. We tried to do this on one of our sports shows. We tried to like spin off into a great names segment, but it didn't go anywhere. But I'm glad we can finally come back around 15 years later. So there we go. Gertner says Sugar Ray Marimon. He pitched for the Braves as a reliever. I think he only played in like 1 or 2 games, but it still counts. Still counts. And he got 2 starting pitchers as well. At least I think Buck Farmer was a starter. I know Vicente Padilla was a starter. It is Vicente, not Vincente, right? I did get that right. I copied it from what he said. I didn't look it up. He played for the Phillies, right? Yeah, I played for the Phillies during the, let's call it the lean years. Before they won 5 divisions in a row, and after they went to the World Series in '93. So, like, there was a period of time when I was a kid, the Phillies were awful, and Vicente Padilla was a starter. He was a guy. He was a dude on that team. Dale says Bronson Arroyo. He was also a starting pitcher. It helps that he looks like a cartoon character. Fun fact. I once went around on Halloween as Bronson Arroyo. I'm a white man with curly hair, and so my mom put it in, braids or rows, whatever she did with it, and I had a Red Sox shirt, and I ironed on 61 and went around, and nobody knew who the I was. Maybe they did. I don't remember, but I do remember that, and no, I don't have any pictures. Maybe I do, somewhere around here. They're not accessible, so you're not going to see them right away unless somebody else finds them. All right, sorry. Dave Wadding says Mark Zepchinski. That's a good one. Good reliever. Hell of a name. A lot of letters on the back of that jersey. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Dave. Oh, Dave also says Augie Ojeda. He played second, short, and third, so I'm sure we could fit him in somewhere. Augie Ojeda is a great name. And he brought up one. He said, wait, did Paul Ossenmacher make the cut? Because Vito said, we're going to get to it next here, said started at 2000. Because before that, it's just, he said that he set a parameter. It was his topic, so he set the parameter, and he said start with the year 2000. And unfortunately, Paul Ossenmacher stopped playing baseball in the major leagues anyway, in 1999. So there you go. Bummer. That's a good one. Speaking of bummers, Supreme Elijah once said, nah, I'm not participating in this thread if I can't talk about how Cannonball Titcom won 14 games for the New York Giants in 1888, which is funny because, like I said, when Vito sent me a message, he said, hey, we're going to start it with the year 2000 because if we don't, we're going to have a bunch of guys from the 1900s and before, Cannonball Titcom and whatnot, and Johnny Dickshot and things like that. So he said, yeah, don't do that. So it's very funny that somebody complained about not being able to use Cannonball when that was a name specifically that Vito noted in his exclusions when he set his parameters. So there you go. Lockjaw says Albert Pujols. That's a good one. Great one. Great player. Great first baseman. Solid pick for this team, I would say. Clockshot says Carter Kieboom. It is Kieboom, right? Kieboom. Kieboom. Third base and shortstop. We could find a place for him, I'm sure. Pat Leary says a starter/reliever, Tuki Toussaint. That's a good one. I don't remember, I couldn't tell you if he was good or not, but I do remember the name. Or does he still play? Is he one of those guys? I don't know. Reliever, Boof Bonzer. That's a good one. Second base, Scooter Jeanette. Outfielder, Milton Bradley. And shortstop, Yuneski Betancourt. There you go. Those are some solid names right there. I like it. Did we get a full team? That's all of them. Those are the answers that I got from all of you. Again, not reading Vito's whole list because that's a lot of names, and I don't want to do that. Sorry, Vito. But again, that's at the website. So did we get a full squad? Or did we get a full lineup? Not a full squad. Did we get a full lineup? Could we fill every position on the field with these players? Let me see. 4 guys for the rotation. We got a few relievers. We got the infield. We have a couple of outfielders, but no catcher. All right, so somebody submit a catcher, and we'll put this together as a starting 9 for a team and see where we go. You know what I'll do? I will see if in one of these old baseball games I have, if all these guys are in there, and see if we can field a team just with guys with these neat names that we like. So somebody send me a catcher and maybe a closer or a couple more relievers, and we'll see if we can do it. All right? Let me know. But thank you, everybody, for your answers. Thank you to Vito for the suggestion. I hope that I did it justice. Vito did ask ChatGPT for their squad. So I will share that list if I can. I know where it is. I will share that at the website as well if you want to check that out. We got some good names on there as well. But again, not going to read them all because I just spent time reading, and that might bore you. So there we go. So that is, as far as we've gathered, as far as we've put together, our all MLB name team. So if you have our all-name MLB team. So if you got a catcher or a couple, I think we need another outfielder, maybe another reliever, then let me know, and we'll field a squad, and I'll see if one of these games I have, if we can put them all together on one team. All right, can we do that? Yes? Great. Thank you, Vito. Congratulations on winning the Pick'em. And what do we got next here? We're going to take a break because, again, work has to get done. We got to do that. Are we doing Pat Peeve, the political ads, or the fan mail? We should end with the fan mail because we don't want to end on a Pat Peeve. Like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, we don't want to end on getting mad unless the whole show is me getting mad. So on the other side of this break, you'll hear a sound. We'll use the baseball hit, I guess. The baseball bat smack. We'll use that sound effect. And on the other side, you will hear me talk about political ads when they don't tell me who to vote for and how they make me mad. All right, got to go do some work. Back in a bit. Alrighty, through the magic of editing, this is all going to be in one piece for you. I got to do this full. I don't have to tell you this. There's no reason for me to let you know. But this is going to sound different because A, it's earlier in the day, and B, it's a different day. So there we go. We're back with the things we're going to talk about. We had to. I'm telling you, man, work's been driving me nuts lately. Don't they know I have a show to do? God damn it! All right. Anyway, we're going to get mad just for a minute here. So it's election season. If you live in Pennsylvania, the primary election, your election day to go vote is Tuesday, May 16th. Do we have other primary dates? All right. I was going to tell you what day your state was going to vote because I think they're all different. If they're not, the primaries are all different dates, I thought. Maybe they're not. Maybe I was wrong. So maybe everybody votes on May 16th, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I thought every day. Anyway, everything that I was looking up was just for Pennsylvania. even when I typed in, hey, I want other states. And they were like, nope. Well, Google was like, no, you're going to do this and because you live here. All right, thanks. Thanks, Google. Appreciate you. Anyway, so it's political ad season. I feel like that never really ends. People are coming to the door. You're getting the phone calls, the robocalls, the text messages, all that stuff. And it's annoying. And if you don't vote, I guess this isn't for you. But we actually do have somebody asked a question about voting and stuff that's going to go in the newsletter for this month, at the end of the month. So look out for that if you want, or don't. Do whatever you want to do. So here's what bothers me. I mean, I don't like all the political ads. I don't really care. I like to, you know, I hate to use this phrase, has been corrupted now, but do my own research and figure out who to vote for based on what they stand for. And I don't need to see a bunch of it, mudslinging and all that. And I understand that's how the game works, but it's not for me. And that's why I'm not going to run for office, because I can't. I just don't. Although here's the one thing, the one positive. If I ever ran for office, here is the one positive that I could get out of that, is that someone for my opponent, say I was running for, I don't know, say I'm running for mayor. Let's go with that. If I'm in the mayoral race and my opponent would have to, the only good thing, other than if I win, then I could maybe do stuff. But the only good thing is that my opponent would have some sorry intern go through every episode of this show and my live show and all the shows I did in college, because they're all online. Someone would, some poor kid, some poor 20-year-old just trying to get some college credit for their poli-sci degree or whatever. They would have to go through and listen to every episode of this show. Now, this is episode 426 of this show, of the podcast. And I also did 200 live shows. And in college, I did about 150, 160, something like that. All those shows. So someone would have to go through and listen to all of those episodes and try to find something that I said that would make me undesirable to voters. Something that would, I'm not going to dive into this well, but something that would get me canceled, right? And so some poor kid would have to listen to all of my shows, because they get worse. As you go backwards, the quality gets worse. And so someone would have to listen to every single episode. So what did I say? 150. This is 426. That's 576? Plus 200 live shows. So that's 776 episodes of me. Plus, if you find everything, if you can find my Twitch videos, I don't think they're anywhere. But, well, nothing is really lost on the internet, right? So I wonder if my Twitch videos are still around. I did, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 of those. So we're up to like 800 pieces of media that you would have to go listen to try to find something that I said that would make people not want to vote for me. And even if I didn't win, the satisfaction of knowing that some kid, like say we're in a debate or like something comes up in the news, like, oh, he said this on his show in, April of 2013. The satisfaction I would get knowing that some kid had to listen. I mean, I'd feel bad for the kid, but knowing that my opponent would have to go so low as to say, hey, listen to all those things. Like they were so worried about me and what I could do in the election that they made their poor intern listen to hundreds of hours of me just to find something that would make me undesirable to voters. And that would be the best. Like, I don't even have to win. At that point, like, I'd probably, you know what I would do? So say this, and this has nothing to do with the pat peeve, but just something I thought of while I was talking about it. Here's what I would do. Okay, so we're at a debate, or I'm at a press conference or whatever, and someone asks me, hey, your opponent, whoever, Jimmy from Mayfair, said, you said this on your radio show or in 2013. Do you have a comment? And they say they play the clip, right? Was that you? I said, yeah. And I explained this segment. I was probably making a dumb joke because I was in my 20s. And I said, yeah, I was making a joke. All right, great. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Jimmy from Mayfair and say I'm sorry to that poor intern who had to listen to hours of me on my show. And you know what? That's satisfaction for me enough. I concede the race. I'm dropping out. And then, or I wouldn't concede to him because maybe there's another candidate in the fold. But like say it's now because in Philadelphia, there are like 7 or 8 candidates for mayor. So I imagine there would be more than just me and Jimmy from Mayfair. So that's a deep cut, by the way. If anybody knows what that's from, let me know. Leave a review and say, we miss you, Jimmy, if you know what that means. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I would say, you know what? Jimmy from Mayfair, thank you. And I'm sorry to your poor intern who had to listen to all those hours of me. But we can only go down from here. So I hereby announce that I'm dropping out of the race for mayor. Because that would be enough. That would be enough. Like knowing that he was so scared that he had to, we have to dig some dirt up on this guy, and made some poor kid listen to all those hours of all of my whole catalog. Hours over years, right? I've been doing this since '08, right? So if he goes back all that way because he's so worried that he needs to find some dirt on me because I'm such a bad guy, or he thinks I'm a bad guy, or apparently I'm a good guy, and he has to find something bad that I said in jest or take something out of context, which does happen, right? I think that would be the best. Anyway, nothing to do. That's a little tangent there about politics and why I'm not running for office. But how I got there was I couldn't deal with all the mudslinging nonsense. And what bothers me most about, well, other than the annoying text messages, but really I just block those and whatever. It takes, 8 to 10 seconds of my day. But what bothers me about these ads is that, one, they're everywhere. And two, these goddamn commercials where they say, oh, this person is terrible. Like they voted for this, or their husband does this, or his wife does this, or whatever the attack would be, whatever the character assassination attempt includes in this commercial. I don't like that the end of the commercial isn't, oh, by the way, vote for this guy instead. Like it's usually just, hey, this person's a piece of shit. And this is why. And they list 3 or 4 things, and they play, foreboding music, and they have the things are in black and white, and the picture of them is like with their mouth open pointing or whatever, because it's mid-sentence in a speech or something like that. And it's like, yeah, all right, great. Okay, so who are they running against? Who do they want me to vote for instead? Who do they want me, like they're obviously, this is paid for by someone else who is running for office, who is running for this same office, council, mayor, Senate, Congress, whatever. Whoever gets elected to what, right? That's obviously paid for by someone who is running for some kind of office. And you're telling me this person is bad, this person is terrible, don't vote for this person. Okay, great. You don't like this person. That's awesome. Who should I vote for instead? At the very least, you should be telling me who to vote for, right? That's the point of these commercials, is that you want me to vote for your guy or girl or whoever. Your theydy or themtleman. Is that themtleman? Is that how you say that? Theydies and themtleman is that's how I greet people. I saw that on Twitter a couple years ago, and I loved it. So I try to use that as often as possible. But I'm just wondering, I get the point of the attack ad. I understand it. Like, oh, this person sucks. Don't vote for that person. That's fine. That's what you want to do? Great. You want to crap on that person? Awesome. No problem. Great. No issue with that at all. The issue I have is the end of the commercial should say, by the way, you should vote for this person instead. And it does happen sometimes where it's just like crap on somebody for a minute or so, and then you come back around and say, oh, this guy's your choice instead. Vote, push lever 8B or whatever. They're not levers anymore. They haven't been levers for 20 years. But, push button 38B or whatever it is. But at the end of the commercial, you should tell me who I should vote for instead of this person you're just taking a giant on. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know they're not going to stop. I know there aren't going to be fewer political ads for me to watch when I'm trying to watch Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or whatever. I understand that they're going to be there. Again, I've resigned myself to this fact. And it's not fine. It's annoying. But if you're going to do it, at the very least, so people who run political campaigns, people who work on these advertisements, you're doing fine, except you should actually, you know what? You're not doing fine. That's the point of this segment, is that you're not doing fine. And you have to tell me who I should vote for instead of the person you don't like. So just put a little tag at the end. By the way, vote for, Johnny from Fox Chase or whatever. I'm just naming Philadelphia neighborhoods. I'm not sure why Jimmy from Mayfair and Johnny from Fox Chase are going up against each other. But anyway, the point is, if you're doing a political ad of any sort, even if you're making a political post on Facebook, like, hey, this person sucks ass, that's fine. You can do that. But what I also need you to do is tell me who the other person is who is the better choice in that race. Tell me who I should vote for. Who you think? Maybe we don't agree, and that's fine. But at the very least, you got to tell me who your guy or girl is. That's all I'm asking. Tell me who it is. Like, crap on everybody all you want. That's the name of the game. That's what happens. That's no problem. Tell me who I should vote for instead. That's all. It just bothers me when I see all these ads. First of all, there are so many of them. And second of all, they don't tell me who to vote for instead. They're just like, hey, this person sucks. I'm like, that's great. Who paid for this? Who am I voting for instead? Who's the other choice? Who's the good? Like, this person's the bad choice. Who's the good choice? At the very least, let me know that. That's all. All right. One more break, and then we're going to go. We got one more thing. We got some fan mail, so we're going to answer that right after this. I got to take a drink. I got to check a work thing, and we will be right back. Alrighty, we are back. We're going to ignore that I just recorded the whole thing, and then I lost it. We're going to ignore that part because we're just going to do it again. But we're back. I'm so dumb. I'm such a dumbass. Oh, my God. All right. We did a whole thing on Dunkin' beverages that I did. Should we just do it all again? Pretend like that never happened? I can't. I'm just mad. Oh, damn it. I'm so stupid. I'm just so dumb. Yeah, I recorded a whole thing like 15 minutes and lost it because I'm stupid. All right, so let's run it back. So before we do the fan mail, I got a bone to pick with people who love drinks from Dunkin', because my smoking hot wife got me. She ordered Dunkin' this morning. She said, "Do you want anything?" And I said, "Boston cream donut," because Boston cream donuts are my absolute favorite. Not even close. And an iced tea. Well, first I said, "Hey, iced tea lemonade," but she's like, "Hey, I don't think they do that." Which they used to do a frozen Arnold Palmer, frozen iced tea lemonade, which is delicious. And the only drink from Dunkin' that to me is any good. And so she's like, "All right, get iced tea." And she said, "Sweetened or unsweetened?" And I said, "Sweetened. What are you, nuts? Come on now. Come on here." It's a joke for one. So I said, "Yeah, sweetened iced tea." And I have it here. And I got to say, if this is their sweet iced tea, I don't want to know what their unsweetened tastes like. And maybe it's me, maybe it's Maybelline, that I've just been having sweet drinks all the time, and I don't know what, like my drinks have been overly sweet for my entire life, or for my adult life, I guess. And so maybe I don't know what, I don't know what the right level of sweetness is supposed to be, because I've been having over sweetened drinks for so long. Maybe that's it. But I just, I don't know. Everybody says that all these drinks from Dunkin', the coffee or I don't really love coffee, but like the hot chocolate, people raved about that. And to me, it tastes like coffee. It was gross. This iced tea is barely sweet. Like, this is not, I don't know. I feel like if I have to add sugar to it to make it taste good, then I don't consider it sweetened iced tea. And maybe, but again, maybe this is me. Maybe my palate is so desensitized to sugar because I've had so many overly sugarly drinks for most of my life. Maybe that's it. Maybe I don't know that this is what a sweetened beverage is supposed to taste like when it's sweetened at the correct level. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, thank you to my smoking hot wife for getting me the Boston cream donut. Delicious. And at the very least, this iced tea is quenching my thirst. How about that? All right. So we got some fan mail. And I wish I knew who this was from, because when you go to the website and you put in to ask me a question, you don't have to put in your name. You can just put like a dot or an X or whatever, and that's what somebody did. So maybe it was Jimmy from Mayfair, my opponent in the mayoral race. Maybe he decided to ask this question to get me to slip up and say something dumb. Well, Jimmy from Mayfair, God bless you, and it's going to work because we're going to go hard on this. So let's just say it's Jimmy from Mayfair wants to know, if you had done this show when you were 18, what might a topic have been? And I love this question. I think it's great. I'm going to do two, if you don't mind. They're kind of related. But for sure, I think I made a post about this a few months ago. If I had done the show when I was in high school, or, 2006, I was 18, I was just starting college. If I had done a show, say I did this show, just me, maybe it would have been at the time, podcasts weren't really a thing. So it would have been a radio show, and it would have been like a live call-in show, I assume. And it would have been, who is the hottest person in your contacts? Although, let's be real, if I'm doing this when I'm 18, it would have been, who's the hottest girl in your contacts? And I would have been like, yep, this is great. And then they send the name, or they send this is probably what I would have done. We would have run the segment, run the call in, and say, okay, we have a Facebook group or a whatever. Remember when I did the the hottest TV mom and TV dad, and I made a bracket for all the people and had the pictures and all that. We would have done that, except with people that we know in real life. And so we would have done like who's the hottest person in your, who's the hottest girl in your contacts, and we would have just had a bunch of pictures of a bunch of, I don't know, 18 to 20-year-olds from people's phones, and we all would have like put it to a vote from random people on the internet who thinks you're hot, like Facebook used to be. Like the original Facebook was to rate hot girls at his school, wherever he went, Harvard, right? So he made that to do, like, it would have been that. It would have been, you know, hot or not, but on a local level between me and whoever listened to the show. And so we would have done that, and we would have set up the bracket with all these random people from all your phones and all these random hot girls from your phones. And for sure, do you remember when I played a segment probably 2 years ago on the show from my live show when I talked about when Miley Cyrus, people were talking about her boobs, like, did you get a breast job? You know, did you get implants? A breast job? What am I doing? See, I had this the first time and I lost it because I'm a dope. And so this is what you get. You get second take Pat, which is not as good. So people are like, oh, Miley, did you get implants? And she's like, no, boobs grow. I'm 19. And my dad texted me when he heard that and said, yeah, I turned it off after that because I didn't like that part. I'm like, okay, that's fair. So I think the straw for my mom would have been, why are you rating people? Why are you doing this with people in your phone? Don't do that. I would have gotten either a phone call and or a sternly worded message that said, hey, you should not have done that. And then I would have killed the segment because I would have listened to my mom, because I would have been like, you know what? You're right. You're right. This is a bad idea. But for sure, yeah, my mom would have had something to say about that because, yeah, it's inappropriate. It is inappropriate. Yeah, if you heard a segment that said, hey, send a picture of the hottest girl in your contact list to a random person on the internet, let's say. And I don't know if any like random person would have heard me at the time. I don't know if any random person will hear me now. But if send me a picture of a random hot girl in your phone, and we'll put them in a bracket. And then we're going to all vote. Strangers on the internet are going to vote to see who the hottest girl is. And we would have crowned a champion of the hottest girl in Melting Pat Land's contact list. We would have done that. That would have been a thing that I would have wanted to do. But I would have killed the segment because Mom would have hated it and would have called me to tell me to not run it. And I would have, because I would have just killed it because I would have thought about it and be like, you know what? You're right. It was fun in the moment, but it's inappropriate. So we would have killed it for sure. So that's the one thing. That for sure would have been a thing. But the other thing is, this is so dumb too. If you're a 10 looks-wise, if you are attractive to someone, to anyone, you're allowed to believe one dumb thing. That's my theory. You're allowed to believe one dumb thing if you're hot. And that would have been a thing. Like, all right, say you're at a bar and you're sitting with a lad or a lass and you're saying to yourself, wow, this person is attractive. I want to go talk to them. I want to have some kind of a relationship, physical or otherwise. This person is great. I'm so enamored with them. And you start talking, you have a good conversation. And then they're like, oh yeah, but I think the earth is flat. And I think, Mars is flat too. And they're like, oh, yeah, I don't think corn is real. I think it's all little trackers from the government. So every time you eat corn, you're getting another tracker in your body that stays there for 50 years. And you're like, huh, wow, okay. And if they believe one of those things, like say they believe the earth is flat and Mars is also flat for some reason. For whatever reason, that's a thing they believe. Whoever told them, whatever they read, whoever they talked to, they believe that with their whole chest, as they say, their whole head. They believe that the Earth, both the Earth and Mars, are flat. And you go, okay, and you're so enamored with them, you're so into them physically, and everything else is fine, that you ignore that. What you say to yourself, you know what? Yeah, they think the Earth and Mars are flat, and that's dumb as hell. But man, am I ever gonna be friends with a person who's this attractive? Am I ever gonna have a chance with someone who's this hot? No. So you let that slide. It's like the Seinfeld when George stopped having sex. He stopped having sex and he got smarter. And then he, the end of the spoiler, the end of the episode, he's dumb again because he had sex with a Portuguese waitress because he did the math and realized he's probably never going to have a chance to have sex with a Portuguese waitress again, or Portuguese woman, or whatever. Right? That was it, right? Is that the Seinfeld bit? Somebody remind me. I know I've seen it a couple times, but maybe I got some details wrong. So Seinfeld fans, let me know. Sorry I screwed up if I screwed it up. So yeah, it's that. It's like you believe one thing, but well, it's not that, but it's you let something slide because you do the math and you realize you might not have a chance with someone who to you is this hot ever again. And so you let that one thing slide. Like, oh, corn's not real. It's trackers from the government, or the Earth and Mars are flat, or, you know, whatever the other thing might be. But if they believe both of those, then you got to be out, right? Because this person's too dumb to function. I don't care how hot they are. We got to go. But if they believe just one of them, then you let that slide. Because if you're a 10, you get to believe one dumb thing. One dumb thing. You can believe it. That's one. Whatever it is, whatever dumbass thing it is, somebody's going to let it slide because you're a 10 in their eyes. And that would have been a segment. If I'd done this show in 2006, that would have been a segment, a real thing I would have done, a real conversation I would have had. And I would have said, hey, call in. What's your dumb thing? What is the one dumb thing you could allow because the person is a 10? Because the guy, girl, whoever is so attractive to you that you're going to let that slide. That one dumbass thing they believe, you're going to let it go because you're so into them. Let me know. You know what? Can we do this now? Let me know. Let me know now. Leave a comment on one of the posts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, one of those, or on the website or wherever. Leave a voicemail. Send a text 209-867-7638. Leave a review. Jimmy from Mayfair, if you're out there, let me know. Keep me up to date on things like this, man. Yeah, we'll do it now. Yeah, if there is someone who is so attractive, but they believe one dumb thing, and you can let that slide, what is the dumb thing they would believe? So yeah, let's all assume that this theory is this is a working theory. If someone is so attractive to you, you're going to let them believe one stupid ass thing. What is it? What is the dumb thing that you're going to say, wow, that's dumb, but they're so hot, I'm going to let it go? What is it? Is it flat Earth? Is it corn's not real? Is it some mystery third thing I'm not thinking of? Let me know. If someone is so hot to you, what is the dumbest thing they can believe that you would let slide because they're so hot? Let me know. That would have been a segment on the show if we did it in 06. And we're actually going to do it today. What is the one thing? I don't want to know the person. I don't need to know that. We're not doing the, hottest person in real life or whatever. That'd be creepy. It'd be funny probably if you sent me 18 pictures of me, but that might be funny. But anyway, we're not doing that part because that's gonna get me to drop out of the election. But if someone can believe one dumb thing and you let it slide because they're hot, what's the thing? What is the one thing that you're going to let go because that person's a 10? Let me know. themeltingpat.com. All the things. I want to know. This is going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Or, we might kill it. We might kill it because mom will text me later and say you shouldn't do that. All right. No? All right. Maybe not. Anyway, that's all. Jesus. That's all. I gotta get some work done. I gotta go get my trash cans before they disappear. We gotta go. All right. Thank you so much for being here. My thanks to Chris Crimmins for the song Teenagers in the 90s. Go get it where you get your tunes. Links to all his things, as far as I can find, will be in the show notes at themeltingpat.com. So there you go, my friend. Thank you very much. Come on the show. We'll talk Pokemon real soon. Yes? No? All right. When we find the time, we'll figure it out. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. We are good. We are good to go. G-Love and Special Sauce with cold beverage. They're going to play us out as they always do, unless you listen on YouTube. Because then, I don't want to get a copyright thing. But yeah, we're good. Go have fun. This has been an 8-Boiler production. So until next time, my friends, have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Get vaccinated and boosted when you can. And of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. We are good, right? Yes, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your day, moms and mom-like figures in the world. Go have fun. Go do the thing. I'm taking the boy on his first Taco Bell trot so mom can get some quiet up in here. We're going to do that. And maybe I'll go to Target. I don't know. We'll find out. That'll be Sunday morning. And by the time you hear this, I'll have a 2-year-old son, which just seems insane. It doesn't seem real. But there we go. We are good to go. I'm recording this part on his due date, by the way. And tomorrow's his birthday. So there you go. Yesterday for you, if you listen on Saturday. I didn't forget about the survey thing that I want to send out to you. I just haven't had time to do it. My bad. I'll get to it at some point. I don't know when I'll do it. But there we go. We're good. We're good to go. And we did all the stuff. We covered it all. TheMeltingPat.com, Patreon.com/TheMeltingPat. Pay me $1 a month and get bonus stuff. Or $3 if you'd like. That'd be great. That'd be great. And yeah, what's the one thing what's the one dumb thing you're willing to let go because somebody is so hot? I want to know that too. All right? We're good. This is going to get me canceled from the mayoral race. Oh boy, we're good to go. All right. I love you. Thank you for being here. Go enjoy yourself. Okay? You've been inside the Melting Pat on the Next Level Network. Go crap open a cold one.